Joe Rogan recently revealed what really happens behind the scenes in Hollywood and what actors and music artists must do if they want to succeed. Directors, music executives, and producers often very pressure performers to take part in intimate acts and even have sex with them if they want access to the biggest roles, the biggest stages, and the biggest deals. Joe also mentioned some powerful people in entertainment who use their influence to pressure or control others into compromising situations in many cases today in exchange for opportunities.
This is just from what I heard.
Right.
But, you know, Tarantino was telling us about this old school Hollywood producer who had a bedroom in his office.
Sure.
So you would go into his office, and this is like, you know, in the 60s or whatever. So he had his office, and then he had a whole bedroom in his studio.
Yeah.
Where he would bang all the starlets. Like, if you wanted to be a star, you had to bang that guy. Which is just the deal with the devil that has always been that business.
That's always been there. There's always been there. It's like why people start cults.
Yeah.
They always end up being cults, right? All these
100% of the time.
All of these guys on Netflix, it ends up being creepy and sexual.
Yep, all of them.
That's part of it. And I think if you have that kind of power and people, and you've got a steady stream of people walking in your door.
Yeah, and you're also doing this very specific thing where you're choosing the most beautiful people to be in these incredible films.
Child actors often suffer the most in Hollywood, and the sad truth is that many times their parents know exactly what is going on. Hollywood is an industry that depends on people staying quiet. Casting couch practices have been around for many decades. Everyone on set usually knows what the director or producer is doing with the performers and what the performer had to do to get the role, but no one speaks up. As long as money is being made, people choose to stay silent.
Hollywood managers who manage kids, it's a racket, man.
Did you hear that kid from Strange...
These kids, dude.
That kid from Strange Things?
Stranger Things.
He just left his manager, and they're alleging... They just left their agent. See if you can find that. Owen Benjamin.
The curly-haired kid. Oh,
yeah.
And he's
Owen
in
Benjamin just put it on his Instagram today because Owen has been taking a lot of heat online because he said that a 3-year-old kid shouldn't be transgender, and people giving him a hard time saying he's a bigot. Like, are you out of your mind? When
What's up with this transgender?
Stranger Things actor dropped agent because of accused of sexual assault. Disney star follows suit. Jesus Christ. This is nuts.
Watch
man.
an Open Secret, and they go through, dude. They pick. They're accusing people. It's for free. I think on Vimeo.
Yeah, you
can watch it for free. An Open Secret.
Just on YouTube or something.
On Vimeo.
You know what Sturgill Simpson told me? He said the same thing exists in music.
What?
He said in music there's a bunch of pedos and pederasty
Sure.
music as well.
The entertainment business all the way through. Music. This was about. This is about music and movies and TV. It's about the whole entertainment business.
Women and kids.
Mostly kids.
And
Mostly
sometimes
kids.
dudes. You know, Terry Crews said that he was attacked. Well, not attacked. Some dude grabbed his
taken from his
some
wife.
famous dude grabbed his dick.
A small group of directors, producers, screenwriters, and music executives hold most of the power in Hollywood. In recent years, only a few of them have been exposed. Names like Harvey Weinstein, Sean Diddy Combs, R. Kelly, and Woody Allen were all very big figures in the film and music industry. They likely worked with hundreds of performers over time. Many people in the industry knew about them, but they stayed quiet to protect their own careers. Some people even claim that one of these powerful figures could be Oprah. It seems strange that Oprah has been connected as a friend to many abusers who were exposed over the past 10 years.
Oprah publicly supported victims of assault in the wake of numerous allegations against Harvey Weinstein. Singer Seal Instagrammed this meme, showing Winfrey kissing the disgraced mogul. It reads, "When you have been part of the problem for decades, but suddenly they all think you are the solution."
Please welcome Seal!
The 54-year-old who's appeared on Oprah's show captioned his post, "Oh, I forgot, that's right, you'd heard the rumors, but you had no idea he was actually serially young starry-eyed actresses, my bad." While Weinstein maintains his innocence, Seal hasn't commented further, and Oprah has not responded.
This moment is a really powerful time for everybody to get woke.
Fans have come to her defense, pointing out Winfrey is a survivor. They also posted pics of Seal's ex, Heidi Klum, kissing Weinstein too.
Joe Rogan also spoke about this. In a recent episode with Kim Dillon, he said that Oprah
An
knew
operation
Harvey
this
Weinstein
massive,
and worked with
this
him for many
controlled,
years.
this
He claimed that she, along with many others in the film industry, knew what he was doing. It is also said that Harvey Weinstein had terms in his contract that made it very
Joe
hard
Rogan
to take
isn't
legal
buying
action
it,
against
and neither
him.
should you.
In return for sexual favors, Performers were promised roles in major movies they wanted.
The other thing about him it's so crazy is how many photographs of famous people were with him and how many people thanked him when they won the award.
Of course.
It's so, and how it was this open secret, but it's just like they accepted this deal with the devil. Like the devil's going to make you a star if you suck. And apparently that's what he would do.
Yeah.
Whitney told me that there was girls that he knew, girls that she knew rather, that did the deal. And it was a deal. Like, he's going to get you in this movie, and they got in the movie. Like, he would hold up his end of the bargain, which is one of the reasons why he was so powerful, because he really could. He wasn't just everybody.
Harvey Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein were also said to be involved in bringing young performers to powerful people, including trips connected to Epstein's island.
Throughout history, whether they were kings or what, human beings are human beings universally. So everybody is a supplier. Epstein, Weinstein, like these guys knew what these extremists liked and provided it. And provided the way for you to to have $1 billion and not create a fantasy island type environment has not existed throughout history.
Right.
These powerful people often use promises of fame, money, and sometimes even threats to force child actors and young performers to do what they want. The one person Joe Rogan respects in the entertainment industry is Dave Chappelle. That's because Dave refused money when he was offered $100 million. Oprah even asked him if he was crazy for turning it down, but Dave said he knew the money would be used to control him. After he said no, Oprah reportedly made fun of him. At the time, only Joe Rogan seemed to understand why Dave refused, but now the reason is becoming clear to everyone.
It was completely outside of my frame of reference. I've been in show business since I was 14. And I've heard the stories of what happens, and I've seen these kinds of things play out in front of me.
Okay.
When
you say you heard the stories, what do you mean? What stories?
I mean, you see before, look, Mariah Carey made a $100 million deal, and 3 months later, she's all of a sudden mysteriously crazy. Or Martin Lawrence punches through, and he's waving a gun on the street screaming, "They're trying to me."
Yeah, we hear those stories.
And it always happens around the time in their career where it seems as though they're crossing over the next plateau.
Yeah. Would you say you lost your mind, sort of?
No.
No.
Not exactly.
Okay.
I wasn't crazy, but it's incredibly stressful.
Yeah.
And I felt like in a lot of instances, I was deliberately being put through stress.
Comedian Dave Chappelle left tens of millions of dollars on the table when he walked away from his popular Comedy Central show. A lot of people wondered what the hell was he thinking? That's a quote. Chappelle says he had whether he was thinking. A lot of people ask that question. Chappelle says he had a crisis of conscience and stood up for his integrity as an artist. He explained to us how stepping out of the spotlight helped him avoid getting caught in a trap.
It's so much bigger than money, though, Dave. It's so much bigger than money.
Oh, no, it was bigger than money. But you know what? I watched one of these nature shows one time, and they were talking about how a bushman finds water when it's scarce. And they do what's called a salt trap. I didn't know this. Apparently, baboons love salt.
Okay.
So they put a lump of salt in a hole, and they wait for the baboon. The baboon comes, sticks his hand in the hole, grabs the salt. Salt makes his hand bigger, and he's trapped. He can't get his hand out. Now, if he's smart, all he does is let go of the salt. Baboon doesn't want to let go of the salt. Then the bushman just comes, takes the baboon, throws him in the cage, and gives him all the salt he wants. And then the baboon gets thirsty. The bushman lets him out the cage. The first place the baboon runs to is water. Bushman follows him, and they both drink to their fill. And in that analogy, I felt like the baboon. But I was smart enough to let go of the salt.
Why didn't Oprah speak out about Harvey Weinstein before he was arrested? After his arrest, she realized the criticism she might face and began trying to separate herself from the controversy. It was only after seeing A-list celebrities being criticized for their connections to Weinstein that she started to talk publicly about the situation and show how much she cared about the victims.
Kind of spoken yet publicly about what's going on.
I think that this is, I'm always trying to look for the rainbow in the cloud, whatever is the silver lining. And this is what I do know for sure. when something this major happens, when you have the fallout, 50 women coming forward, that it's a watershed moment. And what I do believe is actually happening is that, first of all, it's triggering a lot of unreleased pain, repressed anger, guilt, and suffering that a lot of women have had. I happened to be on set with several actresses the other day, and we were filming some things, and they hadn't slept over a period of 2 or 3 days, and I was like, what is that? They said, oh, you guys are suffering from PTSD.
And when you start talking about it out loud, too, when
everybody
you haven't
has
talked
a
about
story.
it.
Everybody has a story. And so I think this is a watershed moment. I think this is a moment where no matter what business you work in, there have been women who not only had the disease to please, that's a part of it, but who felt that in order to keep my job, in order to keep my position, in order to keep moving forward, I've got to smile, I've got to look the other way, I got to pretend he didn't say that, I got to pretend he didn't touch me. I think those days are about to be over.
Are over. And if it happens to you back in the day, you would say, sometimes you're not even aware what he just said wasn't really inappropriate.
I know you've had a couple moments.
Where you just think, what did he just say?
Yes, I remember Gail had a moment when she came and said to me what somebody said to her was so inappropriate. I was like, oh my God, you can sue over that. But
no, and all I said was, what did you say? And then they repeated it.
Yes.
It's terrible. I just sat there typing with my 20-something-year-old.
You pretend you didn't hear it.
Yes.
You pretend it's okay. You pretend you didn't.
No, it isn't. You're right, Jeff. It absolutely, you're absolutely right.
But a lot of women have been silenced, and I know.
But I do think it's going to change.
Being a victim of that when you feel like you cannot be heard, and then other people start speaking out, it makes you feel like, oh, now I can speak out too.
Yeah.
So,
and you've been speaking about it for years. Yeah.
There's so many horrific accusations though involving young singers, young children.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
It's insane.
He makes R. Kelly look like a decent guy.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
It is crazy. And meanwhile, the guy was hanging out with Oprah, hanging out with Obama,
Jay-Z,
everybody.
As for what this group of powerful people was actually doing at Epstein's Island, we can look to Roger Avery, a director, producer, and Academy Award-winning screenwriter known for Pulp Fiction, to answer that question.
Man, that's
you think so that you think is real. So
well, yeah. Not only that, I think that there's sacrifices going on every day in Los Angeles. I mean, allegedly, high-level musicians, let's say, high-level female musician is chickens every day, doing sacrifices,
high level.
Well, I don't want to say. I don't want to say names because I don't want to get sued, and I don't want to be dead either.
What is it?
Joe Rogan later revealed that these Hollywood elites treat you like you're beneath them.
There is an arrogance that some stars had, particularly in the 90s. When I first came to Hollywood, and this is really evident for me because I was not a star, but I was on a television show. So I got to be around a lot of stars. And there was a way that some of them would treat you. They would let you know that you are subhuman. You are below them. They would communicate with you in the most disrespectful and dismissive ways. Weird. Mousy guys that I could instantly. And they would just be rude to you in a really weird way because they had power. And then when an executive would come over, they would turn on the charm. They'd be smiling and laughing, and then you would talk to them at the craft service, and they would dismiss you in the shittiest ways. I encountered a bunch of that.
Yeah.
It was commonplace, and it was, I think, a thing that they aspired to.
This is where the story becomes even darker. Stephen Twitchboss was an executive producer on The Ellen Show and worked with Ellen for almost 8 years until the show ended in 2022. On December 13th, 2022, Stephen took his own life. No one knew why he made such a tragic decision until a note was found in which he allegedly blamed Ellen. Some online sources claim that Twitch had dark, compromising evidence involving both Ellen DeGeneres and Diddy.
We're learning more tonight about the tragic side of Stephen Twitchboss and the detailed steps he took to hide his plans. TMZ is reporting when Twitch left his home the day before his suicide, he took an Uber to a motel about a mile away. At the motel, he switched his phone to airplane mode so no one could reach him. The motel manager says he checked in Uber or checked in rather under his own name and never left his room. We also now know that Twitch left a suicide note. Details have not been made public, but TMZ reports the note alluded to challenges Twitch had faced in the past. Entertainer Tyler Perry knows firsthand what that is like.
I want to take you back to a time in my life where I tried to commit suicide a couple of times because it was so dark. I thought the only way to make this better, this pain go away, is to end my life. Had any of those attempts happened, I would have missed the best part of my life.
Details have also emerged about what was allegedly happening behind closed doors at the parties Ellen organized with Diddy's help. Comedian Richard Pryor said that Hollywood elites were hosting orgies and drug-fueled parties. Keep in mind, this was all before the details of Diddy's actions became public. Others were involved too, not just Diddy. Anyone who tried to speak out against this risked ruining their career. They would stop getting invitations, and their name could be permanently blacklisted.
Now I'm in Malibu, and it's supposed to be the shit, but but I didn't understand that. I'm with a black man that owns his house in Malibu. That's unheard of. Flip made it clear. He said, yeah, there's other black people here. Miles Davis is down the street. He's renting. So-and-so, he's renting. I own my but I still didn't get it because I'm young. It's like, this is some boring shit out here on Malibu, the white people left and right, what's going on? So Flip one day looked at me and said, oh, you want to see the shit? I don't know what the shit is, but I want to see something other than Malibu. And he took me to the parties. He took me to the shit to make me understand this is why I don't be around me. And so you seen the orgies. You seen the people that was the stars and the shit that they was doing. And the smells and the looks in their eyes. And I was, in my youth, I kept a cutlass on me. And so I know I'm walking around holding my cutlasses because you've seen people in states of mind that you never experienced nothing like that. I knew people that got high, but they didn't get high and did the that I was seeing. And so after I was exposed to it, Flip took me around it about 4 or 5 times. And then he said to me, you see why I don't fuck with that. Because, you had a group of people that painted their fingernails black, what they call Illuminati now. It was some kind of clique then, and in this clique, we wife swap and all this kind of shit. You can fuck my wife and stand there and watch, and all I seen it. I literally seen all these things, and it was like, okay. And in my youth, I wasn't afraid. But I knew I would have hurt somebody if I was approached. I would have hurt somebody.
This might sound unbelievable, but what's even more shocking is that veteran actors like Jim Carrey have been saying the same things for years. Jim Carrey even named several comedians who were part of this elite circle. He spoke about it on live TV back in 2014. During the interview, Jim Carrey used a noticeable hand sign and said it was a symbol of the Illuminati.
Is that a gang sign? Have you, Oh, like you don't know what it is. You don't know what that is.
I have no idea.
Well, you don't know. Jimmy Fallon doesn't know. David Letterman doesn't know.
We don't know.
All the comics and show business don't know what this is. Right? Yeah.
What is it?
Come on, Jimmy. Seriously, the time is up. People are hip to this kind of stuff. I'm here tonight to blow the lid off it, to be the whistleblower. I'm sick and tired of the secrets and the lies. It is the secret symbol of the Illuminati, and you're a part of it, and it is the all-mocking tongue.
Oh, I like it.
Around the same time, Joe Rogan spoke out about allegations and patterns of abuse and exploitation in the entertainment industry, especially how common it might be among child actors and young performers. Almost 10 years later, after the truth about Diddy and Harvey Weinstein was revealed, it became clear that much of what he said was true.
Don't let your kids get into acting. Do not let your kids get into
Has
that.
it ever worked out? Well, the other thing is, look at what happened with that Sandusky guy, that guy was taking care of kids. Like his whole thing was like, hey, I do charitable work with children. You know, I do charitable work and I take care of these kids. Yeah, I'm just all about helping kids. It's all about helping kids. They're our future.
Hell yeah, they're going after
that
him.
guy's entire business. Here's the thing. He's one of many. There's got to be like a bunch of people that ran their business that way.
But Weinstein, they say like in Hollywood, like my agent's like, oh no, yeah, it's about time he got caught. I'm like, what the f? Everyone knew this?
Dude,
like everyone knew.
Did you see his contract? It was in his contract. The way he had his contract set up was like they had a certain amount of money that he would have to pay if he had a harassment claim against him. It was like...
It was a thing for him.
Yes. Like he had so many claims. That's like first offense was $100,000. Second offense was $250,000. Third offense was $750,000. Fourth offense was $1 million. He had it written into his contract with Miramax. His contract with the Weinstein Company, like
he owned Miramax, right?
I don't know. Explain that contract. Like he'd have to pay $100,000.
Yes. They're protecting themselves.
Oh, when they sign him, they go, okay, the first time with one of these goods, it's going to be $100,000.
Yes.
Second time, it's $200,000.
It's not just. Yes, I mean it was.
That's
so,
how big of a problem it
was. It was such a huge. It was so known of what he would do, and look, even Quentin Tarantino said that he did it to his ex-girlfriend.
All of these claims were supported by director Roger Avery, who appeared on Joe Rogan's show and said that everything in the Epstein files about Hollywood is true. He was surprised that no one seemed shocked and that people had somehow accepted it all as normal.
I think Ridley Scott knows things and Cormac McCarthy know things about the world that they put on film before everything was known. Like, I think if that movie was released today, people would be like, yeah, that's what's happening today.
Yeah.
And so, they're putting people in sulfuric acid into drums. And shipping them around the world, as a joke.
That's in the film?
Yeah, there's all sorts.
Did you see the thing in the Epstein files?
Oh yeah, like
they
those Epstein files. In fact, I can't believe that. Like everybody just kind of like, okay, and they're moving on with their lives. Did you see that guy at the Atlanta airport flipping out, the well-dressed black dude who just freaks out in the Atlanta just like a couple of days ago? I saw it on YouTube, and I saw it on Twitter or X, and this guy's just freaking out in the Atlanta airport. He's like, I read the Epstein files. Like all of you, you're going about your lives like nothing's happening. Look, you're all zombies. And he's right. It's like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Everybody is just numb to everything. Like,
this is where the conversation gets even more speculative. On an episode of the Joe Rogan Experience, longtime guest Eddie Bravo shared a theory about the Epstein list and why it might explain why so many powerful people seemed linked to the same network. He suggested that hidden cameras, underage victims, and carefully controlled guest lists could have allowed these powerful organizers to trap and compromise influential people from industries like Hollywood, politics, finance, and even academia.
It seems so crazy to think there's not a list.
That's what Jimmy said. He's a tinfoil hat guy.
There's a lady in jail for trafficking.
And Jimmy would acknowledge
to no one. Like there's no one who's been arrested that she said to.
And that's what Aaron's saying.
Well, there's a list that's out. Who knows if it's fake? I don't know. It could be a fake list. Who knows? But Chris Tucker's on that list, and they asked Chris Tucker on a podcast, "What's up with you being on the list?" He didn't do what Jimmy Kimmel said. Jimmy Kimmel said it's a fake list. Who cares what that list says? It's fake.
Right.
Chris Tucker goes, "Yeah, I did go on that flight, but we went to Africa, and I went with a bunch of diplomats. I didn't know who the Epstein guy was." Like Chris Tucker says, like, I had no idea. We were on this plane. We were going to Africa, do some diplomatic shit, and turns out I didn't know.
Well, they definitely got people connected to him by using famous people.
Yeah.
Because
my point was, Chris Tucker basically confirmed that the list was like legit because he's on it.
Right.
Finally, there's Dave Chappelle, the one person who recognized how corrupt Hollywood is and chose to walk away from it completely.
Isn't it weird that that's what we think about when we think about Hollywood? We think about red carpets and people with tuxedos on and ridiculous watches and purses and all just standing there on the red carpet.
It's a tough one.
It's weird.
I mean, I don't knock, and by the way, I don't knock anybody for doing that at all. I don't think, but that ain't what we doing.
No. I'm not interested.
No, it's fun sometimes.
It's just so weird. It's so different than real life.
Investing celebrity to getting more celebrity is a treadmill I don't feel interested in running on in the twilight of my life.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you get it. You know what it's like to be famous.
Yeah. And I'm not mad at fame. When you say fame, I'm not mad at that. Celebrity, well, that's the one.
What's the difference?
It's fine. I was talking to Letterman about it. Celebrity is the role. That's the one on the red carpet. You're famous. It's not that you're not a celebrity, but it's not like you're sticking your pinky toe out on the red carpet. And you're not going places and people saying, "What are you wearing?"
Right.
You didn't make your life about that. You're not tethered to endorsements and this, that, and the other. You're tethered to yourself, to your journey, to your life, which makes it meaningful.
Whether these stories are isolated incidents or part of a deeper, systemic problem in the entertainment industry is still being debated. What is clear, however, is that more people today are willing to speak openly about the pressure, manipulation, and power dynamics that many performers say exist behind the scenes. If you want to see the clips, interviews, and moments that are being discussed online, make sure to watch the full video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more in-depth explorations.